Just when you thought court TV couldn't get any juicier, we kick off with the case of Ahmad versus Day. The judge, calm and collected, sets the scene for what's clearly going to be a roller coaster ride involving Mr. Ahmad and Ms. Day over the paternity of the adorable 22-month-old Nevaeh. Buckle up, because this drama is just getting started.
This is the case of Ahmad versus Day.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Ahmad, you say you were overjoyed to be a father after the birth of your first child, 22-month-old Nevaeh.
Mr. Ahmad takes the stage with a real tearjerker. He shares how he was on cloud nine about becoming a dad, only to have his world rocked by the news that he might not be Nevaeh's biological father. His story of mixed emotions and hopes to prove his paternity will tug at your heartstrings. Just wait, it's about to get even more intense.
However, you claim that you were crushed when the defendant later told you another man could be her dad. You are here today to prove you are Nevaeh's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The plot thickens as Ms. Day throws a curveball into the mix. She confidently asserts her claim that another man might be the real father of Nevaeh, despite having initially led Mr. Ahmad to believe otherwise. Hang on to your seats, because Ms. Day's next move is a game changer.
Ms. Day, you say that you were honest with Mr. Ahmad and told him from the beginning that you did not believe he was Nevaeh's dad. You plan to prove another man is Nevaeh's father today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
In a revealing moment, the court dives into the backstory of Mr. Ahmad and Ms. Day's relationship. They clarify the status during Nevaeh's conception, and Mr. Ahmad opens up about his past heartbreak due to an ectopic pregnancy, making his current situation all the more poignant. The emotional roller coaster doesn't stop here. More surprises to come.
And so you found out she was pregnant and you were excited because this was your very first child.
And also, I've had a situation before where, I had lost a child because of an ectopic pregnancy. So this was like my second chance, to have a child.
So, Ms. Day, what is your response to that?
I told him the truth from the beginning, that she might not be his.
Ms. Day recounts the morning she knocked on Mr. Ahmad's window with life-changing news. The conversation that follows sheds light on their shaky communication and conflicting views of their relationship status. Keep watching, you won't believe what they'll say next.
It was more of a friendship for me. I loved Mr. Ahmad, but I wasn't in love with him. It was just, he was there for me, and I needed somebody to be there for me.
And how I found out she was pregnant, she came one morning and then knocked on my window and said, well, I need to talk to you. And she says, well, I'm pregnant and this is your child.
No, I didn't say she was yours. I said she might be yours and she might not.
The courtroom buzzes with tension as everyone discusses the controversial birth certificate signing. Was Mr. Ahmad out of line, or was Ms. Day sending mixed signals? This debate is far from over, and what happens next might just redefine complicated.
When Nevaeh was born, were you present, Mr. Ahmad?
I was present the entire time she was pregnant. I cut the umbilical cord. I signed the birth certificate. After the baby was born, we left the hospital together.
So, Ms. Day, was he present as the father of this child?
He was present, yes, he was. But he was present because he wanted to be.
As everyone leans in, the court seeks clarity on hospital protocols concerning birth certificate procedures. The inquiry reveals how Mr. Ahmad managed to sign as the father, sparking even more debate. Up next, the plot thickens. This episode isn't slowing down.
We actually contacted the hospital because we wanted to find out what the protocol was for the execution of birth certificate. And per the hospital where Nevaeh was born, the procedure is when they admit a mother of a child into the maternity ward, she is asked to fill out a form for the birth certificate, including the father's name and information. If the information provided by the mother does not match, the father cannot sign the birth certificate.
The court takes a peek into Ms. Day's social media, and boy, does it serve up some spicy contradictions. Her posts paint Mr. Ahmad as the doting dad-to-be, which stands in stark contrast to her current narrative. Fasten your seatbelts. The twists and turns in this saga are far from over.
We did a little investigation of your social media, and we found some very interesting posts. Now, this is Mr. Ahmad, am I correct?
Yes.
It says, Happy Father's Day to my child's father. Even though she's not here yet, he's already amazing. He takes damn good care of us. I'm proud to call him mine.
That's because he was there.
Enter Mr. Flowers, another potential dad, linking in to share his side of this tangled tale. His perspective adds another layer of intrigue and emotion to the already complex situation. What he reveals next will make your jaw drop.
Do you know where he is?
Yes.
Does he want to be a part of her life?
Yes.
You live together?
Oh.
Right.
I think I want to talk to this other gentleman. He is joining us from his hometown. Mr. Flowers, thank you for joining us. Has Miss Day explained to you that Mr. Ahmad's on the birth certificate and he was also told that he was Nevaeh's biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on to your hats as the DNA results finally come in.
It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Flowers.
The scene kicks off with some courtroom drama brewing. Please be seated. Hello, Your Honor. Hello. This is the case of Harper Sr. versus Harper Jr. You know things are about to get spicy when the judge starts by setting the stage with a formal yet intriguing introduction to what seems like a family feud of epic proportions.
Previous courts have denied your request for DNA testing because you allegedly signed an acknowledgement of paternity. You now claim to have evidence prove you never signed that document.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Harper, you and your son, Mac Jr., claim Mr. Harper is denying paternity as an excuse for being a deadbeat father.
Just when you thought it was all about the money, Ms. Harper and her son, Mac Jr., throw a curveball. They claim Mr. Harper is denying paternity as an excuse for being a deadbeat father. Yes, Your Honor, the room heats up with accusations flying faster than a boomerang in a tornado, setting the stage for what's about to be a roller coaster of familial claims.
Mr. Harper, Sr., explain to me, how have you been affected by all of this?
Your Honor, I have been affected by this by first ending up in jail for 21 days.
Really? You spent 21 days in jail because of failure to pay support, or you got behind?
Yes, I had gotten behind in my child support.
Mr. Harper Sr. starts spilling some serious tea. He details how this whole ordeal landed him in jail for 21 days. And then, you spent 21 days in jail because of failure to pay support, or you'd gotten behind? Yes, I had gotten behind in my child support. Talk about a plot twist. He brings a personal nightmare into the courtroom, complete with a surprise jail visit because apparently mail delivery failed him when he needed it most.
Police came to my house one day, knocked on my door, told me that I was behind in child support. At that time, I didn't even know I was supposed to be paying child support.
You never received a letter?
I never received a letter.
A notice?
Nothing, Your Honor. They came, locked me up. I went to court. They asked me if I could pay the money what I needed.
As if the story couldn't get more twisted, here comes a bombshell about the back payments. So you're saying you've gotten a letter that says now he's upwards of $25,000 behind in support? Yes, Your Honor, from $500 to $25,000. Hold your horses and grab your popcorn, folks, because the financial discrepancies here could make your head spin.
So you're saying you've gotten a letter that says now he's upwards of $25,000 behind in support?
Yes, Your Honor.
But Mr. Harper, I was going to say, you submitted paperwork to the court that indicated that you are, in fact, now almost $24,000 behind now. And that's the current amount that you owe.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, diving deeper into the soap opera, Mr. Harper Sr. airs out the dirty laundry with tales of suspected infidelity. I have doubts that Junior is mine, all because of the fact that back when me and his mother were, Ms. Myrtle was together. I have family and friends that told me that she had been messing around with other men's behind my back. The audience is gasping, and you can't help but wonder if this courtroom might just turn into a daytime drama set.
Tell me about your doubt.
I have doubts that Junior is mine, all because of the fact that back when me and his Myrtle were together, I have family and friends that told me that she had been messing around with other men behind my back. Whenever I would go to work.
Your Honor, that's not true. That's not true.
I even got proof that says that someone texted me and said, or called me and said that she might even have messed with one of my family members.
So you heard rumors that she was sleeping with other people?
Yes, Your Honor.
The plot thickens over a disputed birth certificate signing, but Mr. Sr. came to the hospital, took pictures. The nurse brought the dog on. I came to the hospital, took pictures. I did not birth certificate up there for him to sign, and he signed the birth certificate. I did not never see no birth certificate. And did you witness it? I witnessed it. Yes, you saw him sign the birth certificate? I did not sign no birth certificate. You did sign the birth certificate. The birth certificate was never there. Why are you standing up here lying when accusations of forgery mix with family drama? You know the next revelation is just around the corner.
Mr. Senior came to the hospital, took pictures. The nurse brought the
I came to the hospital, took pictures. I did not never see no.
And did you witness it?
I witnessed.
You did sign the birth certificate. Why are you standing up here lying like I was no way? Miss Harper, now that birth certificate was submitted to the court. I want to take a look at it. Certificate of live birth, name, Mac Clinton Harper, that's the child.
Young Mac Jr. steps up and shares his piece, painting a picture of a father-son relationship gone missing. She'd offer him to come see me, and he used to come pick me up when he was driving a cab. He used to come pick me up every weekend, and then all of a sudden, he just stopped. The tale of a taxi-driving dad who suddenly turned into a ghost has us all scratching our heads and wondering what's next in this family saga.
What would you like to add, young man?
She'd offered him to come see me. He used to come pick me up when he was driving the cab. He used to come pick me up every weekend, and then all of a sudden, he just stopped.
I stopped coming to get you, Junior, because of the fact that your mama and her boyfriend told me to stop coming to their house.
You remember having a relationship, he'd come get you, take you with him?
Yeah. Gave him a birthday party.
How old were you then?
About 7 to 11. Since 2005, out of 10 years, I've only seen him 3 years.
As the emotional roller coaster continues, Mr. Harper Sr. digs in his heels about his paternity doubts, but acknowledges the financial burden he's carried. I have doubts that he is my biological child. I mean, as far as the child support money, if I find out that he is my biological child, I don't mind paying it. I've been paying it all this long anyway. The stakes are high, and it looks like this financial and emotional poker game is far from over.
Or is this about the fact that you truly have doubts as to whether or not this young man is your biological child?
I have doubts that he is my biological child. I mean, as far as the child support money, if I find out that he is my biological child, I don't mind paying it. I've been paying it all this long anyway.
Mac Jr. throws down the emotional gauntlet, reflecting on his childhood missed connections with a father figure. I used to go out looking neighbors' yards, see them. Their father out there playing basketball, out there playing whatever sport or whatever, spending time with their son. And then I think about my father, which don't even try to get in contact with me. As he shares his heartbreak, you can't help but feel a tug at your heartstrings, anticipating the judge's next move to possibly mend this fractured family.
The way I look at it, every child deserves to have their father in their life.
They do.
I used to go out looking neighbors' yards, see them, their father out there playing basketball, out there playing whatever sport or whatever, spending time with their son. And then I think about my father, which don't even try to get in contact with me.
What? I tried to call you.
When'd you try to call me?
I talked to you yesterday, didn't I?
Enter Karen, Mr. Harper Sr.'s daughter, from another relationship, via Skype with a bombshell testimony to support her dad's side of the story. Ms. Harper. Hi. Hello. Thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on the new baby. Thank you. We appreciate you still making your court appearance, even if it is via Skype. As Karen wipes away tears, it's clear this family puzzle is about to get either a piece more complete or more jumbled.
Is going to join us in the courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Via Skype, because she could not be here today in court.
Yes, because she just had a baby.
But she has offered that would further your claim.
Yes.
Ms. Harper, hello. Thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on the new baby.
Thank you.
We appreciate you still making your court appearance, even if it is via Skype. I see you're very emotional, ma'am.
The moment of truth arrives with DNA results in hand.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Harper Sr., you are his father.
Just when you thought reality TV couldn't get any more real, we dive straight into the drama.
So why would you do this?
Things are heating up as accusations start flying left and right. A heated moment occurs when Roniel is accused of continuous dishonesty. The judge announces that they will review the results of Roniel's lie detector test to ascertain his truthfulness about his infidelities. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up. Truth bombs are about to be dropped.
I'm going to get to the paternity results in a moment, but first, I need to read the results of Mr. Wallace's lie detector test.
Can you handle the truth? Because here it comes. The lie detector results reveal that Roniel was truthful about having sexual relations with 4 women outside of the cases presented in court, causing shock among the participants and the audience. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more jaw-dropping, the next twist is just around the corner.
You admit, and the lie detector indicated that you were telling the truth.
Just when you think things couldn't get any crazier, Roniel throws a curveball. An intense altercation breaks out when Roniel uses derogatory language to describe one of the women. Judge Lake intervenes, demanding respect and order in the courtroom. Hold tight, because the judge is about to lay down the law.
Leave the courtroom.
Get ready for a deep dive into Feelings Town with Roniel. Roniel breaks down, sharing his struggles with fatherhood and his upbringing, which lacked a male role model, indicating a pivotal moment of vulnerability and self-awareness. Brace yourselves. The emotional roller coaster is about to hit a peak.
I never had anybody to show me how to treat a woman or to be a man. I'm just here for my kids from where I'm from.
Court clerk introduces the case Lawrence versus Simmons, and the judge greets the participants and the audience. You could cut the tension with a knife, or maybe just with a good lawyer joke.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Lawrence versus Simmons.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone.
Miss Lawrence lays it all out for 28 years. She thought one man was her dad, but surprise, there might be another dad contender. She's here today to get to the bottom of this paternal pickle through a paternity test. Talk about a family tree shakeup.
You claim that 6 months ago, your mother, the defendant, shared a secret she'd kept from you your entire life. After 28 years believing one man was your biological father, you've now learned it may be another. You have petitioned the court for a paternity test to find out if the man waiting outside of our courtroom today is indeed your biological father.
Miss Simmons fesses up to keeping the daddy dilemma a secret all these years. She spilled the beans after bumping into an old flame on a bus, of all places. Because why not drop a life-changing bomb in public transport?
You admit to keeping a lifelong secret from your daughter. You claim you recently ran into an ex-lover on you say that for the very first time, you told this man that he could be your daughter's dad. We'll meet him in just a few moments.
Miss Lawrence recounts how her mom broke the news over a tearful phone call, spiraling from sob stories to the bombshell revelation. And you thought your family reunions were dramatic.
When I answered the phone, she was hysterically crying, and of course, I didn't know what was going on. And I'm asking her, what's wrong, what's wrong? She's beating around the bush, telling me all these random stories. And then finally, she goes into saying that she met some random man on the bus and that he could possibly be my father. Just a regular phone call.
And out of the blue, she says that someone else could be your father.
That someone else can be my father.
Miss Simmons explains her unexpected reunion with Rudolph on the bus, sparking the need to revisit past choices. She worried about upsetting the familial apple cart with her daughter and the man she had always known as her dad, because nothing says complicated like a surprise dad candidate.
Let me hear from you. What happened?
I ran into Rudy on the bus one day on the way from school, and I'm like, I know him, from my past. I've never forgotten him. And I say, excuse me, what is your name? Is your name Rudolph? And he says, yes. I say, Rudolph Rockamore. He says, yes, it is. He asks me, who are you? And I look at him like this. I'm like, for real, really? And I'm like, I'm Yvette.
Look,
I'm
okay,
Yvette.
you better recognize,
Exactly.
huh?
Exactly.
Miss Lawrence describes an idyllic childhood with the man she always thought was her father, filled with love, support, and the coolest kicks. He was the dad with the rad dad vibes.
Wherever he would go, I would go. My dad always made sure I had money in my pocket, always the flyest. I mean, back in those days, I'm an 80s baby, so
Trust me, I was alive in the 80s too. I won't tell my age, but I remember trying to be fly as well.
Yeah,
so you had a good relationship.
Me and my dad had we still do to this day. We have a really, really good relationship. Thug lifestyle to where he was, kind of in and out of prison. So growing up, it kind of affected just me being in relationship.
Enter Rudolph Rockamore, stepping into the courtroom for the first time and facing the possibility he might be the dad. Plot twist, will the real father please stand up?
Now, Miss Simmons, how does it make you feel to hear your daughter say this?
It hurts. It hurts a lot. I never really knew that she felt like that. Me not telling her was because I didn't want to hurt her.
That it would hurt me more now than it would
I
a
never
long time
thought
ago.
I would run into him. I never thought I would see him again.
But that's what I want to know too. Even still, if you didn't see him,
I mean, why bring up somebody that's not there? He was non-existent.
The first meeting is as awkward as a blind date, with Miss Lawrence feeling no immediate connection. It's like expecting a rom-com moment, but ending up in a reality TV show instead.
I know I want to meet him, do you?
Not really.
But I think it's the missing key to the answers that you're seeking. I'll do it with you. How about that?
Indeed.
Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Rockmore
Yes.
to the courtroom, please? Good day, Mr. Rockmore.
How you doing?
Please step up to the podium. Thank you for joining us today. Mr. Rockmore, this is the first time you've ever laid eyes on Ms. Lawrence.
Yes.
Rudolph recounts his astonishment and the backstory of their past connection. He's open to exploring this new chapter, regardless of how late in the game it is. Better late than never, right?
And we talked for a while. She said she had something to tell me. She said I might have a daughter. I got quiet at first and I couldn't believe it. It was like, and then she told me she was 28 years old and I was like, wait a minute, that's a long time. That's a lot of time lost out of a kid's life.
Mm-hmm.
Drum roll, please. The DNA results are in.
When it comes to 29-year-old Tatika, Mr. Rockmore, you are her father. Be about him.
Jerome, the court officer, is given a shout-out for his stellar assistance. Up on the docket today is the case of Hicks versus Smith, featuring Ms. Hicks, who's chasing down a DNA test to confirm if Mr. Smith is the dad of her adorable 3-month-old daughter, Honesty. Strap in, because things are about to heat up.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Hicks versus Smith.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Hicks, you say the sins of your past have brought you into court today to save your relationship. You are petitioning the court for a DNA test to prove that the defendant is the father of your 3-month-old daughter, Honesty.
The emotions are hitting the fan. Ms. Hicks lays out the emotional roller coaster this paternity dispute has her on, but she's rock-solid confident about knowing who fathered her kids. Enter stage left, her sister Carlicia, throwing shade and alleging Ms. Hicks has been playing fast and loose with the truth about her partners. Courtroom tension skyrocketing.
So, Ms. Hicks, how does it make you feel hearing Mr. Smith deny paternity?
I know I've only slept with him, and I know who my children belong to. Hearing this from him and him getting it from my own full-blooded sister, it just bores me.
Tell the truth.
It bores me.
She telling false lies, okay? I know for a fact that he was not the only one she was
you're there in the
sleeping
same
with.
bed with me when I'm sleeping with these people. I get.
The stakes couldn't be higher if they tried. Mr. Smith recounts a gnarly medical saga following an injury, which, according to his squad of docs, supposedly zapped his baby-making abilities. He's thrown his medical records into the ring for the court to eyeball. Ms. Hicks isn't buying it and fires back, suggesting little Honesty's very existence begs to differ. You won't believe what's next.
I used to work out a lot, and one time I strained myself too hard and I had to go to the hospital, and the doctor told me that I couldn't have kids, that my testicles had dropped by that time.
You submitted some evidence to the court. Male hypogonadism is a condition in which the body doesn't produce enough testosterone or has an impaired ability to produce sperm or both. This is what the doctor diagnosed you with?
Yes, Your Honor.
This testimony is off the charts. Mr. Smith comes armed with receipts, specifically a spicy text message from another dude to Ms. Hicks. This nugget aims to cement his claim of her playing the field. Ms. Hicks is on the ropes, claiming amnesia on that particular message. The truth is dangling by a thread here.
I went through her phone and found text message, and it said when I can get that kitty cat.
Oh, you saw a text message?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah,
and you submitted your recollection of that exchange to the court. The other guy said, I missed that kitty cat. And Ms. Hicks responded, you know he leaves, so you can come over anytime.
Yes, Your Honor.
You saw this message and you feel like she was definitely sleeping around.
Yes, Your Honor.
How could this get any more dramatic? Buckle up for a wild recount of a past escapade where another man supposedly did a high-stakes window exit when Mr. Smith popped by. This tale is whipped out to paint a vivid picture of trust issues and relationship chaos. The courtroom's jaws on the floor. The plot twist coming up will blow your socks off.
The guy jumping out the window situation.
What happened?
Well, I came out the car. I seen somebody jump out the window, and I'm knocking on the door for like 30 minutes.
But the guy just jumped out the window, but you gotta knock on your own door.
Exactly.
Were you there when the guy jumped out the window?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I was in my car. I'm looking at him run through the field.
And it took her at least 30 minutes to open up the door.
Every second counts now. The tale of the pregnancy reveal unfurls, complete with the drama of initial negative, then positive test results. Mr. Smith's emotional whirlwind is spotlighted. He's grinning like a Cheshire cat, but internally freaking out due to his alleged medical condition. Hang tight. The expert witness is about to flip the script.
Take me to the point you realize you pregnant.
Mr. Smith, he came to me and said, I've been sick, I've been throwing up, and I've been feeling funny, so I think you need to take a pregnancy test. I took the first one, it came out negative. He was like, go ahead and take the other one so we can see the results of that one. So I takes the other one while he's right there in the bathroom watching. It immediately pops up that it was positive. And so he was like, I knew it. He was happy.
This expert testimony is a total game changer. Dr. Jamila Gator steps up to the plate to drop some serious medical knowledge about Mr. Smith's condition, hypogonadism, and its fertility implications. This bit of science throws a new light on the paternity puzzle, swaying the courtroom's vibe big time. The much anticipated results are up next, and trust me, you'll want to see this.
Hi, Dr. Gator.
Hi.
I need to talk to you today about a medical condition Mr. Smith said he was diagnosed with several years ago called hypogonadism, that he's now unable to father children. So I first want to understand more about what this condition is exactly.
So hypogonadism is when the body doesn't produce enough testosterone. You can either be born with it or you can develop it later in life.
Here comes the moment of truth. The climax of the episode hits as Judge Lake unveils the DNA test results. Drum roll, please.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Smith, you are the father.
The courtroom is absolutely electric as the proceedings kick off. Ron, the court officer, gets a warm shout-out as the session rolls into action, and the case of Norris v. Norris is unveiled like the season finale of your favorite show. The audience and the involved parties exchange a round of cordial nods and handshakes. Buckle up, folks! The drama train is leaving the station.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Norris v. Norris.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone. Mrs. Norris, you claim Johnny B. Norris Sr. has been denying he fathered your son for the past 22 years. You say today's paternity results will prove him wrong.
The emotional roller coaster cranks up a notch as Mr. Norris dives into memory lane. He recounts the epic saga of their yard wedding, which, according to him, was more of a shotgun affair, pressured but filled with love at the time. Don't touch that dial, because the plot is about to twist into a pretzel.
My son, we were married by my father in our front yard. We had a yard wedding, Your Honor.
It was a shotgun wedding, y'all. When she became pregnant, I thought it'd be the right thing to do as far as marrying her.
Clouds of doubt and a dash of suspicion fog up Mr. Norris's tale. He paints a vivid picture of Ms. Norris taking mysterious weekend getaways, sparking rumors of rendezvous with her ex. These escapades throw a hefty shade of doubt over his paternity status, further stirred by Granny's whispers that he might not be the dad. The tension could be cut with a knife. Stay tuned.
That I don't know, Your Honor.
His grandmother said that I wasn't his father.
I don't believe that. And if she did say that to him, it was because she was just so fed up.
Okay, take me back, though. I want to understand this because you said you all got married in the yard.
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, you had just had your son and named him Junior.
Yes, ma'am.
The storyline thickens as Mr. Norris makes a blockbuster decision. On the cinematic occasion of their son's 8th birthday, he chooses to pack up and head to the scenic views of Seattle, putting miles and emotional walls between him and his family saga. What unfolds next is guaranteed to drop jaws.
What happened?
He left. He disappeared.
On your son's 8th birthday?
No, ma'am, that's not how it happened at all.
What happened?
Actually, what happened was prior to his birthday, her and I wasn't getting along. There wasn't no need me hanging around. And like I said, she had been gone. You know, she'd be gone from time to time. So I was basically just there.
Just when you think all hope is lost, Ms. Norris steps up her game. After relocating to the peachy vistas of Georgia, she teams up with a savvy friend to track down a lead on Mr. Norris's kin online, sparking a fleeting reconnection filled with promises that vanish quicker than a Snapchat message. But folks, the curtain hasn't closed yet.
Ms. Norris, at what point do you decide to search for Mr. Norris Sr.? Where is he?
Yeah, I was like, how can somebody just abandon? When I decided to search for him, it was about 6 years ago, I believe. I had moved to Georgia with a friend. She helped me to go online, and we were able to find a family member of Mr. Norris.
As Beverly grabs the mic, prepare for secrets to spill like tea. Beverly, the new Mrs. Norris, spills the beans on how Facebook sleuthing and neighborhood gossip led her to uncover the saga of the possible other son. It's a soap opera within a courtroom, and the next reveal is bound to be a stunner.
It is my understanding that you are married to Mr. Norris.
Yes, I am.
How did you find out that your husband might have a son?
I heard rumors through the years. I checked it out myself. I got on Facebook and I contacted his son, got Mrs. Norris's number, and talked to her on the phone.
And when you spoke with her, what did she tell you?
I asked her, had she divorced him? And she said no.
The courtroom is on the edge of its seats as the DNA results are about to drop.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Norris Sr., you are not his father.
Judge Laka kicks off the showdown. With a warm but firm greeting, Judge Laka sets the stage in the courtroom, introducing the juicy case of Webb vs. Forrest. Mr. Webb has been waiting for this day for what feels like an eternity, or just 2 years, but who's counting? Eager to unravel the paternity mystery of Ms. Forrest's kiddo. Buckle up, folks. This drama's just heating up.
Mr. Webb, you have been waiting 2 years for this day. You claim the defendant, Mrs. Forrest, left you for dead only to find out once you got out of a coma that she was pregnant and that the baby could be yours or her husband.
Yes, Your Honor.
The soap opera unfolds. Ms. Forrest spills the tea on her roller coaster romance with Mr. Webb, how she ditched her husband for a fling, then boomeranged back to him. As she admits to skipping protection, whispers ripple through the courtroom. The plot's thickening, and it's getting saucy.
Were you using protection at the time?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Webb, what is your take on this?
It didn't happen like that at first. Yes, we was in love. Towards the end, I was on life support.
No, that's not how it happened.
As soon as I got out the hospital, I had got a phone call saying that she was pregnant. I heard it from my aunt first. It was a possibility that Elena was my child.
Suspicion and side-eye from Mr. Webb. Mr. Webb dishes out his doubts about Ms. Forrest's loyalty, poking holes in her alibi of work schedules and shady finances. His suspicion meter is off the charts, and he's convinced something's fishy about who the real daddy is. Hold on to your hats, it's about to get wild.
And so what did you suspect? Because something was missing out of her check?
She would get off at 10 o'clock. It would take at least 15 minutes to get home.
So it was missing time and missing money.
Yes, Your
Where
Honor.
she was MIA.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And I know for a fact it took 45 minutes to get from her work
No, Your
to
Honor.
the house.
That's a lie.
And at the time,
Ms. Forrest, let me just ask you point blank. Were you sleeping with anyone else besides Mr. Webb and your husband?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Forrest drops a timeline bomb. In a plot twist, Miss Forrest confesses to juggling nights with both Mr. Webb and her husband right around the baby-making time. The date math puts both gents in the hot seat. Oh boy, things are about to get naughty.
How did you find out she was pregnant?
She had called me the day out of the hospital. I was on my way to Illinois with my dad. I got a phone call. We had a discussion. She said that I may be the father, but then again, I may not be because she was back with Miss Forrest.
So it was the middle of September when she found out.
It was in August whenever she found out that she was pregnant.
Judge Lake turns detective. With the precision of a seasoned sleuth, Judge Lake dissects the conception timeline, underlining the dates Miss Forrest got cozy with both contenders. The room buzzes with uncertainty. Baby daddy drama at its finest.
and then you take it back 9 months later. That takes it to the week of August 26th through August 31st.
August 26th through August 31st, you were sleeping with your...
Just my husband.
The thing about it, Your Honor, is the day that before I went on to life support, we did have sex.
Well, that was the question I was about to ask. So you saying August 25th, you all were intimate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Ms. Forrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Emotions and legal threats explode. Mr. Webb shares his heartache over missing out on kitty milestones, hinting he's not about to let Ms. Forrest play gatekeeper any longer. Tempers flare as legal threats fly across the courtroom. Emotional fireworks are just getting started.
Now you here to tell me you know for sure that your child is fathered by Mr. Forrest and you've got this close proximity?
He looks just like my husband. She takes after him.
But you do realize this difference in time, this is all a part of the same window of conception. You do understand that, right, Ms. Forrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Forrest plays the fear card. Panicked, Ms. Forrest admits she's been gatekeeping to keep Mr. Webb at bay, scared he might swoop in and claim her mini-me. This confession sparks a fiery debate on rights and parenting. Fasten your seatbelts. It's heating up in here.
Terms where he wanted to
I
go.
drove from Illinois whenever she told me that I could meet Elena. I spent the last $80 I had to put in gas. She had backed out, changed her phone number. 3 weeks later,
And that's like
I
every
moved
number
back
I
to
get from you,
Tennessee
it's always
and tried
changed.
to contact her to meet Elena, and she would not contact me back. That is why
And
we
so,
are here today.
Elena is 2 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
The courtroom digs into motives. The air thickens as secrets unravel, showing Ms. Forrest might have been playing keep away more out of spite than safety. Judge Lake isn't buying the fear factor and hints at a power play. The drama escalates. Can you believe this?
No, I have
So
never
therefore,
said that, Your Honor.
he ain't there for
I
2
have
years.
been in tears for the last 2 years trying to meet my daughter.
When I talked to
have
him and
had
told him
to
I was
create
pregnant.
a fake Facebook account just to see pictures of Elena.
Why you would not just allow him to see her if you thought it was a possibility that he could be her
They have
dad
all been
for
under
2
his
years.
Mr. Forrest steps into the confessional. In a moment of rare honesty, Mr. Forrest acknowledges the dual daddy dilemma, admitting the kid could belong to either him or Mr. Webb. The confession adds layers to the already complex drama. Brace for impact, folks.
Are you convinced you're her biological father?
There's a possibility, yes, but I don't know for 100%.
You're raising her as
My own.
so she thinks you're her daddy.
She
Correct.
calls him
Calls
daddy.
you daddy.
He calls me daddy.
He doesn't want to meet under my term.
I sit in this same seat countless times and I see men that say, well, I don't know if it's my child, Your Honor, so I'm not showing up at a hospital. I'm not coming by to see this baby. I don't even want to hold the baby. I don't even want to buy the baby a bottle.
The big reveal, DNA drama climax. As Judge Lake unveils the DNA results, the courtroom holds its breath.
It has been determined by this court that her biological father is Mr. Webb. Be clear, you did not just cheat him, you cheated her. Cheated her.
The courtroom was buzzing with anticipation, the air crackling like popcorn in a microwave as Mr. Fegan stood up with the confidence of a lion tamer. He loudly proclaimed his reason for storming the courtroom today: to prove Ms. Pinkston is his biological daughter, a secret he's been sitting on for over 40 years like a forgotten Easter egg. He was sure the DNA evidence would back him up, and oh boy, you're not ready for the twist coming up next.
Mr. Fegan, you're here to prove that Miss Pinkston is your biological daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you kept this secret for 40 years, but now say the DNA will prove your case.
That's right, Your Honor.
Miss Pinkston, you stand before me without any doubt that Mr. Fegan is not your biological father.
The courtroom felt more like a theater as Mr. Fegan dived into the soap opera of his past. He shared a spicy tale of his fling with Ms. Pinkston's mom back when disco was still a thing, admitting it was a major oops since she was already hitched. He revealed their brief but fiery affair, which ended with a pregnancy bombshell. Grab your popcorn. This emotional roller coaster has more loops to go.
And Miss Pinkston's mother had an affair. We worked together at a plant. We got to know each other.
You spent a lot of time together.
A lot of
Because you
time
worked
together.
a lot of hours.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Did you know she was married?
Well, yes, at the time it was wrong what we.
How long did the affair last?
5 or 6 months, maybe somewhere.
When she told you, did she say, and I think you are the father? Or you
told me
might
I
be?
was the father.
Everyone held their breath as if they were underwater as Ms. Pinkston outlined how this bombshell messed with her teenage years. Discovering your dad might not be your dad after all, major drama. Plus, there was a cringeworthy twist about a potential romance with a cousin from Mr. Fegan's side. Drama, drama, drama. Just wait till you hear what happens next.
That was it. It's the worst day of my life.
And you're 16 years old?
Yeah.
And I can see it hurts you right now.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about it. Did you not want to believe it, or you just...
I didn't believe it.
She, to this day, Your Honor, she does not believe that. That's why. I am here.
Did you ever talk to your father, the man you believed
No,
your father?
my dad passed away never knowing this secret. From the time I was 16 until I was 27, we never spoke of this subject, ever.
The courtroom was all ears, clinging to every word as Ms. Pinkston stood her ground. She was adamant that the dad on her birth certificate, Mr. Gus Pinkston, was her real MVP, no matter what any DNA test said. Mr. Fegan added his 2 cents about keeping the affair under wraps out of respect. But honestly, the tension was building up like a season finale cliffhanger.
What was it like for you? I mean, you believe you have a biological child, you've had an affair with a woman, and now you can't even say anything or be acknowledged as a father. How was that for you?
It hurt me, Your Honor, in that sense, and just to see her do the things that a father would do. I missed all that.
As Mr. Fegan recounted his bold move post Mr. Pinkston's curtain call, the courtroom couldn't believe their ears. He thought it was a good idea to just pop by and drop the grandpa grenade on Ms. Pinkston's kids during a family BBQ. Ms. Pinkston wished he had been more upfront rather than turning their lives into a reality show. Brace yourselves. The next part is a jaw dropper.
And Mr. Fegan, he comes over, and I had my kids there. Really didn't know him, but when my dad passed away, he decided to take it upon himself to tell my kids that he's their grandfather.
When you went to speak to the children, had you had a conversation with her first to ask if it's
No.
okay?
I figured it was already done, Your Honor, through her.
The tension was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal as the judge got ready to drop the DNA bomb. Everyone was on the edge of their seats, popcorn forgotten as the moment of truth approached. This was more suspenseful than a horror movie marathon at midnight.
How to move forward is to get the results. Are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, Lord,
Ron,
yes.
the envelope, please. I know this
Already
is
know.
emotional. If you'd like to take a seat, you're welcome. I know this is a very difficult day.
I already know. In my heart, I know she's mine.
In the case of Fegan versus Pinkston,
You could hear a pin drop, followed by a collective gasp as the DNA results were revealed.
you are not her
Oh, my
father.
God.
Oh, Lord, no.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Yes, Your Honor.
The tension in the courtroom is like a scene straight out of a legal drama. Mr. Horn is on the hot seat, accused of being the father of Ms. Mannion's 29-year-old son, Andrew. This claim has its roots tangled up in a crazy weekend 30 years ago. Horn's adamant he's not the dad, pinning his hopes on a DNA test to clear his name. Ms. Mannion, however, is absolutely sure that Horn is the father. And just when you think things couldn't get any more heated, buckle up, because the drama is just getting started.
Mr. Horn, you had a wild weekend 3 decades ago and now find yourself in court to prove that you are not the biological father of Ms. Mannion's 29-year-old son, Andrew.
Yes, ma'am.
You will meet him for the very first time in a moment, but say today's DNA test will prove you are not his dad.
Did that really just happen? Horn spills the tea about how he first crossed paths with Mannion at a wild bash, where she was quite forward, to say the least. He claims to have blacked out, waking up to find Mannion making bold moves, a story she vehemently denies, insisting it was Horn who played the Casanova. Their clashing conflicting accounts paint a messy picture of the night they supposedly created Andrew. And guess what? There's another curveball coming up next.
I want to understand how all this started.
We were at a party. She showed up. I didn't really have a clue who she was. We started chatting. She kept coming on to me. The more we drank, I drank quite a bit. Passed out. I woke up to the best alarm clock ever.
Oh, no. Woo. I do not do that kind of stuff.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry. No, I did not.
This testimony is a total game changer. Enter Andrew Haight, the supposed son, who takes the stand and drops his own tale of family mystery. He talks about growing up clueless, thinking his grandparents and then his mom's hubby were his real parents, only to have his world rocked as a teen, learning they weren't his biological folks. This bombshell paves the way for a massive paternity puzzle. Don't go anywhere. The emotional roller coaster is just getting started.
Your son Andrew is here. Ron, can you please grab Mr. Haight? Thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
We are here trying to get some answers for you. Who did your mother lead you to believe was your biological father from the beginning?
I considered them my mom and dad, and I kept calling her Christina.
Okay.
I ended up going to live with her at the age of 5.
Get ready to grab your tissues. As the DNA results are about to drop, Andrew throws out a heart-melting wish to keep Horn in his life. DNA be damned. Hoping Horn might step up as an older bro, if not as a dad. This touching moment underlines Andrew's deep longing for family ties in the midst of this paternity whirlwind. The big reveal is on its way, and it's going to shake things up.
I'm hoping that I actually have found my father.
So since you were 12 years old, you've been carrying the name Kevin Horn in the back of your mind.
Correct.
This very moment is the first time you've ever laid eyes on him.
That is correct.
Other than
a picture on the internet when I found the information. My grandmother lost all the information that he gave her, so I did investigative work myself.
You won't believe this bombshell. The DNA test comes back, and guess what?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Horn, you are his father.
The courtroom drama is thick enough to cut with a knife as the judge kicks things off. Everyone is asked to park their rears as the explosive case of Mitchell versus Dalton roars to life. Strap in. This is just the beginning of a real legal roller coaster.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Mitchell versus Dalton.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Mitchell, you are petitioning the court for 2 DNA tests. Determine if you are the father of your estranged wife's 2 children.
Grab your tissues because Deshaun's about to take us on an emotional roller coaster. With a quiver in his voice, he lays bare the heartache stemming from Ms. Dalton's walkout. The poor guy and the kids have been through the ringer, and every eye in the room is glued to Ms. Dalton for her comeback.
The last 7, 8, 9 months, she done made us struggle. She done walked out on us, Your Honor. I get very emotional when it comes to talking about my kids and talking to my kids because
that's understandable.
Like I said, she done put us through hell and back. She just don't care, Your Honor. So I just want to know the paternity of my kids just for my sake, Your Honor.
Deshaun isn't just here to play court. He's here to win hearts and minds, demonstrating his undying commitment to his children. Choking back tears, he talks about sticking it out for his boys, despite the backstabbing and the nagging doubts about who's really their daddy. Brace yourselves. A plot twist is incoming.
I really don't, Your Honor. And like I said, she's running back and forth and she's cheating and this and that, Your Honor. If she wants a divorce, Your Honor, I got these divorce papers. We could go ahead and divorce it and keep it moving. I can keep it moving and continue to go with my kids, Your Honor, like I've been doing the last.
Get ready for a heartbreaker as Deshaun recounts the day Ms. Dalton bailed. It's a gut punch story, complete with kids and food stamps handed off before she hit the road. But wait, there's more. Destiny's got her side of the story, and it's a doozy.
She's in and out of the home, and you have the boy.
Yes, Your Honor. What she did is she left with another man. She just came home one day, Your Honor, and just said, here go your kids, take the kids, take the food stamp card, and just walked out and
Your
just
Honor,
left.
That's not what happened.
And so
now Destiny's in the hot seat trying to clean up her act. She's on the defense about her financial input and why she jetted, pointing fingers at Deshaun's lack of support. The courtroom is buzzing, and just when you think you've seen it all, the judge jumps in with some wisdom.
He didn't work, he gambled, he
Your Honor,
didn't do anything
Your Honor,
that he was supposed to do
Your
as
Honor,
let her finish her testimony. I'll give you a chance to respond.
As a husband and as a father, if we were going to work together and do things, and like I said, it was something that I was bearing on me by myself alone, and he didn't care about it. I just got tired.
But he's raising the children.
Yes, Your Honor.
The judge isn't just a figurehead. He's dropping knowledge bombs about what being a parent really means. While tipping his hat to Deshawn's efforts, he reminds everyone that it's all part of the parental job description. The air's thick with anticipation as deeper truths about their union are unveiled.
But it's also what a parent does.
Yes, Your Honor, you're absolutely right.
Get it done.
Whatever she calls her eloping or whatever she calls herself doing, I don't know what she does. She have these spurts and these moments where she feels that if we get into an argument, it's okay for her to stay out all night or to stay gone for a week.
Age is more than just a number in this courtroom drama. The judge points out the eyebrow-raising age gap and the tender years at which Destiny tied the knot. As the audience murmurs, the stage is set for even more jaw-dropping revelations.
How long have you been married?
2 years.
2 years.
So you got married when you were 19?
Correct.
I'd like to first examine, Mr. Mitchell, the doubt, because you say when she leaves you with 2 boys.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't even know if they're your biological children.
Yes, ma'am.
Deshawn's on the stand again, and he's not mincing words about his paternity fears. A shady phone call with an old flame of Destiny's has him questioning if he's really the dad of their first champ, Deshawn Jr. The tension is thick enough to slice, and everyone's on the edge of their seats.
During this time, you had this phone call.
Yes, Your Honor.
You believe she was sleeping with this man.
Yes, Your Honor.
Also with you, this is when Deshawn was conceived. Did this man say to you, I could be the father?
He said it's a possibility that she's pregnant. That's what he said.
Wait, was this before or after you knew she was pregnant?
This before I even knew.
Really?
Yes,
So you
Your Honor.
get on the phone with this man and he tells you that your girlfriend may be pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just when you think it couldn't get juicier, Destiny admits to another round of love life foul play post-baby. Yep, she had a fling with a coworker, which only adds fuel to Deshawn's fire of doubt about baby number 2, Bishop. The emotional stakes are through the roof, and the DNA results are up next.
Were you out and about supposedly for
I
work,
went to
Miss
the
Dalton?
movies one time, and this is after we had our son, Deshawn. I went out to the movies, yes, I did. He was doing what he was doing, and there was, like I said, there was things going back and forth. We weren't getting along. So, yes, I did cheat with the guy, and I'm not saying that I didn't.
Your Honor, I came home one day, Your Honor. This guy is sitting on my couch, Your Honor.
On your couch?
And she done made dinner or lunch, whatever you want to call it, for this guy.
As the DNA drama peaks, the future of their relationship hangs by a thread. Deshawn ponders the what-ifs of the paternity results, questioning whether their marriage can weather this storm. The courtroom holds its breath for the big reveal.
So what if one or both of these children are not your biological child? Then where do we go from here?
Well, I wouldn't want to split the kids apart, Your Honor. I would still be in the kid's life. I just need to know.
And if both children aren't yours, can this marriage survive?
No, it's no way.
The DNA verdict is in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Mitchell, you are Deshawn's father.
Ron, the ever-eloquent court clerk, sets the stage for the showdown of Jenkins versus Bond. Everyone's exchanging formal greetings with a dash of cheeky warmth, like a bizarre family reunion. And trust me, you won't want to miss the juicy details that are about to unfold.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is a case of Jenkins v. Bond.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone. Mr. Jenkins, you reached out to the court to open a case. You believe that you have a long-lost daughter and hoped to one day find her to prove you are her father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Enter Ms. Bond, taking her place behind the left podium like it's the final rose ceremony. Judge Lake welcomes her, then dives right into the drama, probing her knowledge of Mr. Jenkins. Ms. Bond is all skepticism and side eyes, claiming she's never heard of this supposed dad. The evidence she whips out next could turn this courtroom into a reality TV goldmine.
Just as evidence, his name isn't even on my birth certificate.
Ron, can you pass me that evidence, please? So you don't believe he's your father?
No, Your Honor.
Because you've never heard of him?
Never heard of him. No one has ever spoken of him. I've never seen any pictures. My mother never even spoke of him, brought him up in no conversations whatsoever.
As the tension thickens, Ms. Bond pulls out the big guns, her birth certificate. Plot twist. Jenkins' name is MIA on the daddy list. The judge scrutinizes the document handed over by Ron, while Ms. Bond stands firm on her non-paternity stance. Jenkins' response? Get ready for some Emmy-worthy emotional theatrics.
Under father, legal name, nothing is recorded. But you were raised by a man that you believe, you were told, was your biological father.
He died in a car accident in 1999 with my mother, and I believe that that was my father.
Cue the violins because Mr. Jenkins is about to take us on a field trip down memory lane. He passionately recounts his love saga with Ms. Bond's mom and his unwavering belief in his fatherhood. He even has an ultrasound picture as his ace evidence. The judge's face, a masterpiece of suspense.
No one's ever told me anything.
And Mr. Jenkins have known about this young woman all her life.
I've been looking for her over 24 years, Your Honor. Me and her mother was in college together. I'm telling you, she was banging. I mean, She was bad. I mean, she had a nice big back porch on her. She had this pink jumpsuit on.
Now brace yourself for a heart-wrencher. Ms. Bond shares her tear-jerking backstory of orphanhood and her battle with life's harsh curveballs, including a quest to regain her children's custody. The courtroom is all ears and sniffles. Jenkins' next move? It's a heart melter for sure.
Ms. Bond, after your mom passed and your dad, who took care of you?
A relative on my mother's side.
Did you know she was there?
Yes.
I'd like to hear more about what life was like after your mom and dad passed away for you, because now you're growing up without your parents.
I felt alone. You know, I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have anyone. I lost my mother.
Take your time.
Just as you're reaching for the tissues, Mr. Jenkins steps up like a hero in a Hallmark movie. He promises to play dad, no matter what the DNA says, aiming to mend fences and warm hearts. It's a grand speech that could soften even the stoniest judge.
No, you don't have to worry about that. See, because I'm a man, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do. My job is to protect you and to love you, you know.
Now, I missed that growing up. I didn't have a father figure to tell me, you know, right from wrong, boys to date. I made a lot of wrong decisions and I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't have anyone there to guide me.
Well, you got me now. I want to love you.
Tension skyrockets as Jenkins details his decades-long search for Ms. Bond, venting about dead ends and cold trails. His determination is palpable, like a detective in a noir film, but with more family photos and fewer cigarettes. What happens next? Only the scriptwriters know.
I've been looking for you over 24 years.
Ron, let me see that evidence.
I'd like to submit this to the court. That's one of your numbers that I have. I had contacted Ms. Bond before.
I've never received a call.
Was that your phone number?
It might have been. I have so many numbers. I really don't remember. I've never got a call. I've never got a text, a letter, nothing.
I've been Googling her. All these different sites. I've been doing all.
Doubts creep in as the plot thickens around Jenkins' past decisions. Why no wedding bells? With Ms. Bond's mom, Jenkins dives into a monologue full of regrets and what-ifs, adding layers to his troubled hero persona. The upcoming revelation will either break hearts or mend them.
How did it end? It seemed like you all were in love and you were having a baby and you've got ultrasound pictures. What happened?
Outside people putting stuff in her head, turning her against me. The more I was trying to do things, we was both going to school.
I'm sorry, I still don't believe that's the reason to break up with someone, letting outside people get into your relationship. If you really loved her, you would have stayed, regardless of whatever was going on.
In a devastating twist, we learn Ms. Bond's mom reached out to Jenkins after years apart, only to die in a tragic accident before they could reunite. It's a storyline ripe for a country song, leaving the courtroom hanging on every word. The DNA test results up next. They might just break the internet.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jenkins, you are her father.
The courtroom practically vibrates with anticipation as the gavel bangs and the show gets on the road. The judge, decked out in the traditional robe, motions for everyone to take a seat with a dramatic flourish and exchanges a series of ever-so-formal greetings with the gathered crowd. All rise for the case of Kennedy vs. Pope, booms the bailiff. Enter the players. Mr. Kennedy, firmly in the hot seat over the paternity of Ms. Pope's adorable 3-month-old son, Christian. Buckle up, folks. This drama's just getting started.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Kennedy versus...
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Kennedy, you claim to be a nice guy who was forced to make the tough decision to drag the defendant to court, prove you did not father her 3-month-old son, Christian. Ms. Pope, you and your mother are insulted that Mr. Kennedy denies paternity and refuse to acknowledge your child.
As the debate heats up, Mr. Kennedy takes a swipe at Ms. Pope's life choices, questioning her future plans, or the lack thereof. As a reason, he backed off. The crowd gasps and murmurs as the judge scolds them both for their laissez-faire attitude toward contraception. The judge's lecture on responsibility is stern enough to make anyone squirm. And guess what? There's more drama on the horizon.
No, a bad habit is sleeping with someone you barely know without using Protect. That's a bad habit. Now, I don't know if this young woman can be labeled a bad habit.
Yes, Your Honor.
You did make the decision to kind of pull back from this relationship. Says he starts being a jerk and not returning my calls. The truth is you were doing that.
Yeah.
The truth is inching closer, and boy, is it messy. The air is thick as Ms. Pope recounts the day she dropped the baby bomb on Mr. Kennedy. Tales differ wildly about who else might be the dad, which Mr. Kennedy uses to shield himself from the daddy title. Accusations of opacity throw another wrench in the works, making the paternity puzzle all the more perplexing. Brace yourselves. This roller coaster is hitting a loop.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I didn't hear from her until after the child was born, saying, "You're the father."
I'm not about to beg for support.
Wait a minute, how did she tell you were the father?
Through Facebook, I got messages.
Jerome, let me see those messages. It is your testimony that she did not tell you she even had the baby until after the baby already here. She didn't tell you anything about the pregnancy, anything. You didn't hear from her until after the baby was born.
Yes, I had messaged him the night that I went into labor.
And you get some messages.
Emotions sky high. When Ms. Pope reveals she sent Mr. Kennedy a Bobby pic on Facebook claiming Junior looked just like him, the plot twists. Mr. Kennedy remains skeptical, haunted by the ghost of potential daddy's past. The judge, now playing referee, emphasizes honesty in untangling this family feud. Don't touch that remote. The climax is just around the corner.
And you sent a picture of the baby.
Yes, it looks just like him.
So when you saw this message, Mr. Kennedy, what did you think?
Asked her straight point blank, are you sure it's mine? Because the last information I was given, there were 2 other gentlemen involved. I'm gonna be the father I never had. So
if that's your promise, where is it at then?
You didn't tell me until after the child was born. How am I supposed to know it's my child? You told me there were 2 gentlemen involved.
You were never involving yourself to begin with.
Prepare for jaw-dropping revelations. The courtroom drama escalates as both parties hash out the post-birth blues. Ms. Pope accuses Mr. Kennedy of playing the vanishing act, while he defends his honor, pledging to step up if the DNA fits. It's a tug of war over who's more responsible for the tiny human in question. Things are about to get even juicier.
I have paternity papers and everything ready for him to sign.
But I have the result, and that's going to determine whether or not he should execute those papers.
Yeah, he never came to my door and said, I'm ready to figure this out. Let's go do this. Let's get this done.
This is it, the moment of truth everyone's been waiting for. The paternity test envelope is opened, and bam.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Kennedy, you are the father.